Hello, and welcome to 52 Weeks. This week we're continuing in Chapter 7, Utilities, and we're going to be focusing on the review of utilities within this chapter. This is going to be looking at all of the types of infrastructure that is around us to keep our city running. When we look at utilities, these are the life support systems all around us that we may or may not see and recognize the importance of them until they actually go out. This is in either the loss of electricity or if a water main explodes, this is going to impact us greatly. The first utility that we'll be talking about is communication. These telecommunication providers provide the copper, fiber optic, wireless, and voice over internet protocol for our city. There's also the transition from single source provider to a marketplace of many providers and technology. This is what's happening within the changeover of our infrastructure and cabling. In the terms of communications, we have Verizon, and this quote that's here: during the utilities meeting for the comprehensive plan, Verizon representatives stated that they are investing in conversion from copper to fiber optic connections, phasing out the copper wire throughout the city. There's no official timeline for this process. While the fiber transition continues to happen, it is important to think about other providers that would cause competitive pricings for all Harrisburg residents. Also remember that Fios is not widely available in the city. When we look at Verizon Wireless, currently this carries the 4G LTE and has the potential for 5G. There's also potential links for the smart grid and the Internet of Things that were discussed earlier in the introduction. Verizon's Lifeline program provides discounts on phones and broadband services for qualifying residents. When we talk about Comcast focuses on enterprise solutions, which emphasizes services to small and medium businesses and supports the smart utility meters, traffic management systems, potential for smart cities communications, network of fiber for business voice and on-demand. It is important to recognize that there is no fiber for small businesses or residential customers, but they are working on citywide Wi-Fi. The benefits with Comcast is that it has solutions for low and moderate income households in that $9.95 a month for Internet Essentials program. This is provided for families with school children, all residents of public housing, and school children receive a free device for homework, and there's also STEM educational grants available. In the topic of energy, quote here, energy utilities will continue in a trend to optimize energy production and distribution through the development of the smart grid. Energy optimization is effective at the scale of the individual building, a campus scale district of the city, or citywide or regionally. Harrisburg should commit to rapid deployment of smart building and smart grid technology. This will result in lower operational cost for building owners and occupants and a progressive story for the city to tell. We look at the types of energy we have. Natural gas is provided by UGI. Gas will likely provide the least expensive cost of energy for the foreseeable future in Pennsylvania. As one of the largest producers of gas in the country, the local intrastate supply of natural gas is likely to be strong and affordable. Longstanding federal government policy sees natural gas as a transition step from fossil fuels to fully renewable energy sources. Since the city is very close to rich sources of gas, it is logical to build the medium-term policy around gas power. Continuing to quote, for example, major facilities can use gas microturbines for backup power and peak shaving. Household applications can be similar, using gas to augment renewable systems. For example, one solar thermal panel produces more than enough hot water for normal domestic use. UGI has some community programs. It provides energy efficiency through community outreach programs for low-income households. Our electrical energy is through PP&L. PP&L provides the electrical distribution through the city. The utility has 5 primary customers in the city, including the state of Pennsylvania. PP&L provides spot networks to individual clients, such as P&I, which has a standalone 480-volt network to power its operations. The utility maintains over 100 transformers located in ground vaults throughout the city. The system is a spider web, providing redundancy throughout the city. In increasing redundancy, they've rebuilt the vault at 2nd and Chestnut Street, which is the South Street network, and they rebuilt the vault at 2nd and Liberty Streets. In 2015, PP&L began smart monitoring of the entire electrical system. This is from Allentown, and it's active in Midtown and Uptown, detecting problems in the lines. Other upgrades include streetlights, LED transition, this is lighting design and dealing with light pollution. Capacity is sufficient, but adding a second feed to the city island is what they're working on. Some of the threats are deterrent maintenance relating to stormwater issues, and they're coordinating with CRW. Changes in service, increase from single use to multiple consumer on parcels. New building and development, we should be thinking about underground supply lines. Clean energy, this is important for IT infrastructure in that the energy is free from voltage spikes and drops. And then we have NRG. NRG is the leading integrated power company in the U.S., built on the strength of the nation's largest and most diverse competitive electric generation portfolio and leading retail electricity platform. This is a Fortune 200 company. NRG creates value through the best-in-class operations, reliable and efficient electric generation, and a retail platform serving residential and commercial businesses. NRG can be a key partner of the city to achieve clean energy targets. NRG maintains 3 facilities in Harrisburg. There's a chiller water plant serving the Pinnacle Hospital complex. There's a steam plant on 9th Street, and then there's a 12 megawatt electricity plant at Paxton Creek. The plant operates to provide peak shaving to the grid. It is powered by natural gas provided by UGI. The plant provides backup power to the state complex. NRG has 140 customers in the city. Currently, the system has approximately 6 miles of steam, and 40% of the steam plant load serves the Capitol complex. The steam systems have been mapped by Harrisburg University GIS students. Other upgrades within NRG, there are maintenance issues and threats that need to be addressed. The threats are whenever there's a compromise with the system due to water or sewer main failure. And also any new development that happens, there's district heating, cooling around the city, specifically the transportation-oriented development that's around the Harrisburg Transportation Center. Now we turn towards things we do see. Solid waste collection. The city has a detailed report on solid waste and recyclables prepared by Barton and Lawrence in May of 2015. The detail contained in this report surpasses the need for a comprehensive plan to discuss the issues of solid waste and recyclables in detail. What we do know is the city continues to be afflicted with illegal dumping, which is a condition that will likely continue until community reinvestment reaches a point where the vacant and distressed properties are virtually eliminated. These vacant lands and distressed properties should be on a register so that the community itself is also in watching out on the activities in these properties. It's important to note that in this vacant and distressed properties that the community takes eye of these things, and within the grassroots efforts of neighborhood communities begin to address some of these things and be reaching out to the city officials to deal with it properly. Recycling and organic waste, this should be a no-brainer for a city. The city must coordinate citywide recycling programs with the Lancaster County Solid Waste Management Association to increase recycling of non-renewable glass, metals, and plastic. The city and the Lancaster County Solid Waste need to develop a strategy for composting organic materials. The city could improve the composting capacity. The city gathers street cleaning debris, leaf collection, and also yard waste. However, no composting facilities are located within the city. The 2015 report recommends adding pickup of compostable bags of yard waste or separate color-coded 32-gallon yard waste containers for weekly or monthly collection. An idea that surfaced within the comprehensive plan as part for planning for the deconcentration of Hall Manor and the development of the Southern Green. A composting facility could be planned for the location of the grounds of the Susquehanna Resource Management Complex across from Spring Creek in the new Southern Green. Locating this composting facility in the Southern Green would be consistent with initial programming emphasis on urban agriculture and horticulture. In continuing the review of utilities, now we'll switch over to focus on water. Harrisburg's 1900 plan provided the city with state-of-the-art water and sewer systems. The water system continues to serve the city well. It serves its original purpose to provide fresh drinking water to a city of 100,000 people. In contrast, the sewer system's planned function was to conduct sewage out of the city and away from the areas of the river in the front of the city. The sewage system used a combined system at the time. Simply having a sewer system was progressive, and so the combined system seemed efficient. The stormwater helped to regularly clean it out, and this is one of the issues that we have with the combined system whenever it rains really hard. One of the things that was developed as an authority is the Capital Region Water, and it's in charge of managing the city's freshwater supply and wastewater system. The city's water supply is considered to be one of the best in the nation. Conversely, the 100-plus-year-old system, which combines the sewage and stormwater, is antiquated. The combined SERV system generated high levels of environmental pollution. The EPA and the city have entered into a consent decree which mandates improvement of the water quality of the wastewater stream entering into natural waterways from the city. Harrisburg's water supply system provides the city with drinking water rated among the best in the nation. Fresh water is collected in the William T. Dehart Reservoir, located 20 miles north of the city, and Clarks Valley in a mountain valley preserve. It's gathering 6 billion gallons of water, and approximately 8.5 million gallons a day flow to the city treatment facility. Water is stored at Reservoir Park via gravity flow. CRW tests for 80 possible contaminants of that water. The Susquehanna River becomes an emergency secondary source. Intake is in the riverbed across from the pumping station located between Graham and Edward Streets. CRW is responsible for almost 250 miles of water mains. Property owners are responsible for the line that connects the main and their building. CRW also oversees the sewerage. Harrisburg's combined sewage system connects the city's buildings and stormwater inlets. Sewer lines connect into two mains, one located under the steps of Riverfront Park, and the other aligns with the Paxton Creek. CRW is engaged in the system with upgrades to clean out sewerage lines and replace lines where necessary. The sewage mains conduct the wastewater to the treatment plant in South Harrisburg. In October 2016, Capital Region Water completed $50 million in improvement to its wastewater treatment plant, marking this first major upgrade in 40 years. The facility treats about 22 million gallons of water each day for more than 120,000 residents in Harrisburg, Lower Paxton, Susquehanna, Swatara, Paxton, Pembroke, and Steelton. The improvements will bring the facility into compliance with regulatory requirements to reduce pollution to the Susquehanna River and Chesapeake Bay. New treatment units to reduce nitrogen pollution by 90% and suspended solids or particles in the water released into the river system by nearly 50%. During rains and rapid snowmelt, the system frequently exceeds the capacity of treatment plant and the water flows directly into the Paxton Creek and Susquehanna River through a series of outfalls. This allows untreated waste to enter the river system. In 2014, there were 88 reported incidents of direct outfall. CRW is committed to reducing the occurrences of outfall from the combined sewer system. So when we know we have a problem with the stormwater, what do we do with that? Well, CRW is looking at managing that. In response to the consent decree, CRW and the city have embarked on a major effort to better manage surface stormwater and upgrade the combined sewer system. Delaying stormwater from flowing into the combined sewer system at rates faster than the wastewater treatment plant can process wastewater is important. When the wastewater flow exceeds the plant's processing capacity, the untreated water flows directly into the Susquehanna River. This is the problem that we have in our city, and we have to do a better job of fixing it. And we're behind in the process because we've neglected this for years. Some of the potentials around the city: new projects would employ strategies to reduce the volume of stormwater entering the sewer system, including using green roofs on city buildings and converting blighted properties to green space. We can also address this through rain barrel system and water collection and cisterns around the city. CRW is also focused on the Paxton Creek Greenway. A strategic planning initiative provided an ecological buffer for stormwater management and native species habitat with a recreational spine through the core of the city. This provides an economic development opportunity in planned areas within the landscape. Another project will replace the critical sections of the sanitary and sewer collection systems in danger of imminent failure to avoid sinkholes and continue operations. This wraps up a segment that focused on the utility review in Chapter 7, Utilities. I hope this is helpful to understand issues of communication as well as electricity use and the dealing of water and stormwater runoff and sewer water within our city. Thank you very much and take care.